What's good with YouTube? You already know Big Flocka with a Convict reaction. Excuse me. What we do on this channel, man, we smash, dash, and react, man. Sorry about that. I fucked up already, but let's keep it rolling, man. So please hit the like, subscribe, comment, do all those things to help support this channel, man. Hit that bell notification for future reactions. Okay. Hope everyone's having a good day, man. So I was watching a video right now, 16 July, and it was an interview about an individual named Aqueel, and he's 14 years. He was in there, 16 to life, shots out to 16 to life. I like his channel. I enjoy it. Aqueel seemed like a really good dude. He was really soft-spoken, really humble. He clarified what was hearsay, what was facts, and whatnot, which is what I look for when I hear someone doing an interview. I don't like to have people speak on things that they only heard and are speaking upon without cross-checking. And it was a good interview. So Aqueel was in there for double homicide, was a Crip. He made that conversion to Muslim, and he's all about trying to unite people and bring unity and peace amongst his own brothers. You know what I'm saying? So bear in mind, the question about Northerners came up, about the alliance. And, you know, he had a long spiel and a lot of insight and input of what he's been told and what he heard. See, when I first hit the system in the 90s, county jail and whatnot, we were told, yeah, the blacks, they will assist you to a certain extent. I was in the hole of San Quentin in the 90s to where, you know, when we did our little marching and our machinas and so forth, we'd have a brown brother and a black brother next to each other. We would hold posts on that yard and everything. It was to bring unity and discipline and awareness, right? Now, when we were in different locations, we had good reports with Crips, Sack Bloods, LA Crip Car, Kumi Cats, and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Even in the hole, when I was in different places, we had a good working relationship with a lot of blacks, right? Up until I left. You know what I'm saying? Now, there really never was any true alliance, so I'm going to correct everybody on this whole matter, okay? I mean, allies. Nobody ever considered each other allies. They had working relationships that worked in alliance with each other, okay? Because both sides, I guess, picked and chose as far as some of these groups are going to be individuals. You have to judge people on an individual level. Some people are going to be more willing to work with the Nortenos and as far as towards achieving a mutual cause, towards common goals. Some are going to want nothing to do with them. You know what I mean? And that's just the truth of what my experience when I was in prison. Not every black was going to like every other Northerner. Not every Northerner was going to like every black. But there had to be some type of common courtesy and respect. And you could tell those that really fucked with Northerners and those that didn't. You know, and that's how it always was. You know what I'm saying? But when push came to shove, you have to take care of your own first and foremost. And that's how things were operating when I was last in there. You know what I'm saying? The BGS entered our yard. I was one of the ones that spoke to them when they were taken off our yard. When they came back, I was the one that had to speak to them. You know what I'm saying? And had worked out a relationship with them. You know, we had a couple situations to where I've discussed these before, where we had a dude named Tiny from West Oakland took it off on. He was a civilian. He disrespected us. We were going to rely upon them to take care of their own business. And that's because, you know, we've had past situations to where, based upon an issue, became a breach of security. Same thing happened in Tracy when we did a removal. The BGF cat got on me. I've discussed this before. And I got on them kind of directly about we don't even tell our own people. And see, this is what people fail to realize. There was never any allies. There was a working relationship with those that benefited each other politically. You know what I'm saying? As far as in locations and as far as establishing things to have a protective shield around each other. That's all there was. It's like not every Wood and Norteno got along. You know, but in watching this video, they get to a point where they're talking about you know what I'm saying, they talk about that the feds gave these implementations. I do not believe that. Now that's hearsay. You know what I'm saying? Now, first of all, the time period of when this was occurring was probably in the late 2015, 16, 12, around that time. I think that maybe this dude who was speaking from corporate, first of all, you're not supposed to discuss any type of household business with just random people. So I don't know if this was a smoke screen or whatnot. I don't know. But there was never supposed to be any issues between black and brown. But what it is that everybody takes care of their own. You're the LA Crip Car, you take care of your own. You're the Sack Blood Car, you take care of your own. You're the fucking Kumi Cats, you take care of their own. There's no longer to where we're naturally going to be getting along. No. Does that mean you can't establish relationships with people from those groups? No, of course not. You can. There's a lot of blacks and browns that rock with each other, but it changed a lot. And what you've seen was a whole lot of different groups that operated independently. You know what I'm saying? So, for instance, people say about the black and brown, I'm watching this video, you have to have unity amongst the blacks first before you can even have unity amongst the browns. I think any black brother would agree with me on that. And so there's been skirmishes. There's been skirmishes amongst blacks on these yards. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody gets along. And that pattern started to change in the 2000s. Previously in the 90s and 80s, because of how much discrimination was placed upon both the Northerners and the blacks, we had a lot of times stronger relationships. You know what I'm saying? But neither side ever depended on each other or expected things from each other. We knew as Northerners when we went to a yard, we may be touching down a yard 10, 15 deep with about 300 Sudanos. But if any Africanos offer us assistance, cool. But they don't have to rock for us. We're going to rock on our own. And, you know, and no hard feelings. It just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So when I heard that thing about the feds, I got pictures of certain dudes in the feds, right? With other black gang members in the feds posted up. I don't see why there would be any type of invitation coming from the feds. Now, he clarified that this was all secondhand information. I don't believe that the feds would, first of all, do that. And second of all, I do not believe, right, that this was the sole reason why people would lock it up. No. You know what I mean? If you're going to establish that type of separation, you're going to go to war. And from my understanding, they weren't at war. I think what it is, though, now is this is what we've always taught other Northerners. If a minority group is worthy of the cause, they will be embraced and treated with the utmost respect and assistance. You know what I'm saying? But we don't control or dictate other people's programs. And see, that was the whole purpose of what started. The whole reason why there started to be a lot of issues was there was a lot of dudes that would come to the yards, like in Tracy, they would come to the yards on Seroquel, fucking doing lines and shit while we're doing Machina. We had to address it. And that's part of the reasons why I said we did the removal without telling you guys, because you don't even got your own people in mind. You know, there comes a time when, you know, nobody's dictating each other's programs, but let's have a little bit mutual respect. You know what I'm saying? Incident that happened up there, up north, that was over people disrespecting the shit. So a lot of times Northerners just want their respect, and a lot of blacks just want their respect. And it's usually a small, select few of either side that cause any type of disturbances. But there's been no alliance. There's been no allies. There's been working alliances with those who are deemed worthy and can move the people, who can move the crowd. Not everybody in a leadership position can move their crowd to assist or support anything. And when you have so many different groups, that's more of a black issue that it becomes. You know what I'm saying? Now, have there been times where blacks have sat there and fought side by side and assisted? Hell yeah, they have. You know what I mean? Much respect to those that have. Have there been times that they haven't? Yes, there has. Am I upset about it when I was active? Nah, because I never put any expectations upon anybody, man. But I've been around a lot of dudes that are like Aqueel. A lot of Muslim dudes used to assist us, man. And you have to judge people on an individual level. You know what I'm saying? Traditionally, politics was stemmed that the blacks and Northerners would share the side of the yard. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it's always been. And I don't know how it is now, but that's how it used to be. But other than that, I think his bill was good. And I don't think he said anything totally wrong at all. I think the part about the feds, and that's why a lot of homeboys were going to SMI, I don't agree with that part. But I'm not saying, I think that he was told this information secondhand. This is only what he was told. So he wasn't lying about nothing. This is what some dude told him. I would question the source of where it came from. Like, why was he even talking about it to him? You know, or was this deliberate misinformation to try to cause conflict or confusion on the yard? Those are the first things that I looked at, you know. And that's the truth. There's never been a recognized alliance. You know, there was a time period there was supposed to be one, but, you know, when you put expectations on other people, other groups, right, it causes a little bit of hostilities, you know what I mean? So it's better just to have that working relationship from a distance when it mutually benefits each other. And that's how it's supposed to operate. If you're worthy, you're going to be embraced and accepted. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to do all they can to assist you. If you're not, just because you are a particular group, whether you're Crip, Blood, civilian, Kumi, or whatever, does not mean that those that represent that bandana have to assist. And that's the truth of it. It's always been like that, you know? And that's just my whole experience. Like I said, man, I've been around a lot of African brothers, man, that have sat there and assisted me. Seville, villain from fucking Compton. You know, he's a drama now, but he was a Crip at one time. That motherfucker was with it. He assisted me on a high level to where one time he got at me on paper, said, I get at you more than my own people. That was our relationship. I knew I could trust him as far as if I needed help. If he needed help from our people, I got him. I mean, that's the report that we had. So every relationship is a little bit different. You know, that's prison politics, campaigning, resources, alliances. Those alliances can only be temporary at times till you get what you want out of that, and then boom, kick it to the curb. That's just how cutthroat the game is, man. But all in all, man, it was a good interview, man. Um, you know, the Northerners and blacks used to get along a lot more tighter back in the 90s. But it's always been, I think the one thing that's always been a factor has been sometimes the Northerners will try to say, okay, well, they're doing this and complaining a little bit too much. When all we have to do is, okay, if they don't want to maintain their security, we're going to maintain our security. That's on them. Sometimes they try to sit there and push that agenda. It's unfortunate you don't have people who have the old traditional values that when you're doing machine, everybody respect it. When the yard's not secure, everybody respect it. Those are things that used to occur on these oil yards, right? Now, the other part I think is that there's a lot of youngsters that come in that are just civilians, or their people aren't enforcing discipline like maybe they should. That's just my opinion. Now, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But how much of it is just fucking people pushing petty issues when you have a whole fucking prison with more oppositions you have to worry about? Sometimes people create a mountain out of a molehill. And that's what I've seen occur. Like I said, you know, I've been places, like I said, where even the Kumis and Jamas were fucking distance from us. I've been places where they're fucking rock solid, Rocky Looks, Boo Rogers, Johnny Benson, JB, you know what I mean? Knockout, you know what I'm saying? Yero, all those cats, rock solid, man. Ascari, Aqueel, all those individuals I have love and respect for because they were there with me in the trenches and we were supporting each other. But that doesn't mean that everybody that was within a black group, whether they were civilian or part of a gang, does not mean we always got along or considered them to be trustworthy. That's just the truth. You got to worry about your own, the Nortenos, before you got to worry about the black car. And that's just how it is. And it's the same thing with them. They got to worry about their car first with a Crip, blood, Kumi, civilian, then their race, then Nortenos maybe last. No longer is it a priority. Now, bylaw 22 for the Kumis used to say that they were supposed to assist us. I think it was bylaw 22 or bylaw 23. They were supposed to assist Nortenos. You know, but over that time, things have happened. Now, the one other thing, though, he mentioned that on the streets, black and brown neighborhoods used to get along with up north. No, we didn't even get along with other Northerners. So we were definitely going at it with blacks as well for a minute. It wasn't until the 90s till homeboys went to YA in prison and that relationship with the black and brown was strong that came to the streets to where there was no longer set tripping. You was running to blacks, okay, I'm rocking my Northern brothers. You know what I'm saying? And they kept it solid, you know. Anyways, this is a quick reaction. I enjoyed the video. Much respect to Aqueel and 16 to Life. Good video, good spill. Boy Flacco, I'm gone.